Back with another FUTV live show. Welcome along, everybody. We're talking into the story about a meeting that has gone on with Manchester United players about the blame for the start of this season and why it's been so poor. There is a full-on blame game going on here. We're going to get into the details about that and who the players actually feel is at fault for the start of this season. It leads us into what is to come with Ruben Amorim. We've got more reports on what is happening with Ruben Amorim and where this all escalated from as well. Some minor reports. Pretty much we know where we're at with Amorim right now, but a few more minor details on there. A little look ahead to tomorrow. Manchester United and the Auditions Van Nistelrooy effect. I mean, come on. The guy's had one League Cup game and he's already got us into a quarter-final and moved us up a place in the league without kicking a bleeding ball. He has got some juju, and he at Auditions Van Nistelrooy. Big day for United tomorrow against Chelsea, obviously, at Old Trafford in the Premier League. But yeah, we're talking first of all in this show, and I want all of your comments in on this. So you can look at this in a few different ways. I think it's clear and obvious where the problem is with Manchester United. If this story is true, it's come from the Sun, so yes. But it is probably something that does happen at most clubs. I know it happens at Arsenal. I know that these meetings go on all the time. So the story reads, and I'll just go into it actually straight from the off on this one, and then we'll give you your chance as quickly as possible to get your chat. We like to have a good old chinwag on a Saturday evening when we do a live show, ahead of a game anyway. So let's get into the story first of all and get right into the juicy details of it. And it reads, just go through the headline at the top. Are you ready for this? Frustrated Manchester United stars held their own private summit into the club's disastrous start to the season. The players concluded former boss Erik ten Hag was responsible for a loss of 8 points. Very specific. This is interesting when you get into the details of it. Stay with us on this one. Some of the dressing room went through the failures this season in private and tried to identify what was going wrong. You played crap, I could tell you right now, but they have their own way of saying it. It took culpability for a woeful performance against Spurs and losing against West Ham as missing numerous chances to score. But they also believed Erik ten Hag's tactics and substitutions during games had seen them drop 8 points. If they had bagged those points, United would now have 19 points, one more than Arsenal in the third, who were in third. Oh well, they're not after today, and Aston Villa in fourth. Instead, they sit 14th ahead of Sunday's Premier League clash with Chelsea. A source said the players the players definitely know they are underperforming in some games this season. Some? Really? And have been honest about that. Oh, that's good. But they were also left puzzled by some of Erik ten Hag's decisions, which didn't make sense to them. No, it makes sense to a lot of people. Either leaving players out, subbing off players who were playing well at crucial parts in games, or instructing the team to tactically in ways that they believe cost them games. So the United players have come together and had a meeting and tried to discuss, with the manager now gone, which is brave, what went wrong at the football club. They reckon his decisions were directly responsible for the equivalent of losing 2 games and picking up a point instead of a win. Ten Hag was sacked on Monday after United dominated the game against West Ham but lost 2-1. So the players have had a meeting. They've accepted responsibility for their part in most of it, but I've blamed Ten Hag specifically for 8 points that they have dropped this season. 8. It's a definite 8 points that the players have said that they have dropped. Look, this to me, and I'm just going to give my opinion before we get into the chat, is a full-on blame game. Ten Hag blames officials. Ten Hag blames young players not being able to have game management, mistakes, injuries, fixture list. The players blame the manager. The players blame themselves. The players blame themselves in poor finishing and certain games that could have got them crucial points that puts them higher in the table. Yes, if, buts, maybes, and all of that complete and utter garbage. Look, if I'm going to go in on Ten Hag and say that he was making excuses, I'm going to go in on the players the same way. Shut up. It's done. It's dusted. What are you going to do now? It's pointless going through these meetings and not coming out with anything. So for them specifically, if the reports are right, to blame Ten Hag for a certain portion of it and not themselves, then do you know what? Sometimes Like, yeah, you may not be happy. Let Ten Hag implode himself. You're on the pitch. Take responsibility yourself. Forget the tactics. Look, if Ten Hag takes a player off who's scoring and assisting and then dropping his best players that have been performing through a season, that's on him. You can't argue with that. He's the man in charge. But when you're on that pitch, you can take charge yourself. Take some responsibility for yourself. Actually, ignore the manager's garbage on the sideline and just play the way that you know is best. Players can do this, you know. They are intelligent enough, although some would say they're not. They are intelligent enough to actually take it upon themselves to perform on the pitch. There is that part of a game where you can actually understand the situation that's going and deal with it there and then. You don't need someone on the sideline constantly telling you what's happening. If you're going to leech onto what he's saying constantly on the sideline, then you're going to lose. And I think that's what they've done here. They've just basically done a bit of a cop-out with this little meeting and said, look, we're to blame for most of it, or some of it, and Ten Hag's to blame for some of it as well. Now he's gone, it's easy to blame him. Look, a manager needs to inspire the players, and I think Ruben Amorim will do that. I don't think Ten Hag did. I'm looking forward to Amorim coming in. I think Ruben Van Nistelrooy would inspire the players even more. But one thing that Felix Ferguson was good at, and I don't want to ever bring Felix Ferguson in and compare him, but one thing that he always said, and don't get me wrong, Ferguson wasn't the best tactician in the world. You can talk about tactical geniuses and all of that and setting teams up and what they do. All that Ferguson did was give the players belief in their own ability and that they could knock down brick walls. They could take on anyone. And then players weren't the best players when Sir Alex Ferguson finished. We all know that. They weren't world beaters in that team. We had great players. But you're talking about a team there that was put together with first and second choice centre midfielders and forwards and defenders. It was chop change all of the time. The players do need to take responsibility. We know Ten Hag's issues and why he's gone completely. Well, it's now time for the players to actually latch onto the manager that's coming in. If there is an issue, someone have the balls to stand up and say something. And you know what? It might not get to this stage. I don't think anyone did. I think they just wanted someone to blame in the end. And they got to a point, yes, you could argue both sides of this here. I'm saying the players need to take responsibility, stand up to the manager and tell him if it's not working and it can't get past that point, then fair enough. There's nothing you can do. The manager's just ignorant to his own sort of deluded tactics and what he thinks is right in the team. But the players now need to wipe this slate clean completely and go at this again with a fresh start. Welcome to the Members Club. Garth, gifted by Tom Porter. Legend. Thank you, mate. So, reading into that report there, if it is true or not, look, these meetings happen all of the time. Arsenal, I know, they've definitely had them. The players take it upon themselves to get together. I like that. That's one, that's showing accountability and trying to flush out what the issue is at the football club. And you know what? There's going to be moments on that pitch where the manager can't help you, and you're just, as a team, you're going to have to deal with a situation and get through. And that, I think, builds team morale. And I think these meetings are good for the players to have. I think it is important that we do have this sort of connection within our team. And we have that resilience about us, because that's what that also builds. It builds the togetherness and that backing your own player sort of mentality going into games, especially when you're facing that bit of adversity, which I think United have failed with miserably under Ten Hag's tenure. But look, it sounds like I'm contradicting myself a little bit by blaming the players and not Ten Hag. I know where Ten Hag's faults were. The problem I had with Ten Hag was the excuses, you know this, and not playing the right players, and not playing the right players at the right time, and misprofiling players. All of this and his tactics confused the players. And I feel like a lot of the time the players were bailing him out of their own accord, but ultimately, in the end, it just ran out. It wasn't sustainable like we all knew. And then big players, when they don't play well and do something miraculous like scoring a mega goal or something like that for the team, just to give us a little bit of impetus and enthusiasm in certain games, because that was severely lacking, then it runs out and it looks like we've got no idea what we're doing. United were always a reactional side under Eric Ten Hag. When we went a goal behind, we sort of turned it up a little bit, tried to get back in the game. We got back level again and we just stayed there for some reason. We never took it to the next level. We never went at a team and dominated a team. This is everything that needs to happen, and I think we'll start to come in a little bit more with a new manager like Ruben Amorim coming in, or head coach. Don't forget, head coach is the way we're going forward now. Let's not forget that. Cheers for all the likes already. Over 100 in the first 10 minutes. That's mega. Cheers, everybody. Keep them coming in. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. We've got loads of different content going out this weekend. Tomorrow is going to be mental. I've actually got Chelsea fans I know that are going to the game talking to us after the game. So I'm really throwing myself right out there and trusting in this team tomorrow to actually pull the result. Otherwise, I'm going to get dog's abuse, and I'll record it all for your own viewing, and you can say what you want. I'm going on their channel, they're going on ours, and it's just going to, yeah, you can imagine. So tomorrow, please, it's massive tomorrow. But these players and the blame game and everything, look, it's about time, and we've said this all along, the people that are the most important right now are not the players, not the coach, it's Ineos, it's the structure. If the structure breaks down, then its tools or its people in charge of certain areas of it fail. And I feel like the players right now need to be put under the microscope. The spotlight is on them. It's like every single one of these players individually right now has to take his own accountability into what's happened so far this season. Ten Hag took his and he's gone. The players have to do theirs, and there's only one part of Manchester United that can hold them accountable. The manager can do his bit, and the players can bitch and moan that they're not in the starting lineup or being dropped because they're underperforming. That's fine. Head coach has done his role, but Ineos at the top are the ones that will call the shots, and they need to back Ruben Amorim with these players. I feel like there are still a few players that we need to wean out with this football club. We all know it. We've talked about it so many times, haven't we? But really, when you break it down right now, we are going to see everybody's character within this squad, and it starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow against Chelsea. If Ruben Amorim's not coming in for Manchester United for another week yet, and the players are going to be on international duty, they're not going to see him. If you're a player right now, you're going out onto that pitch after you've had this so-called meeting or this crisis talks, whatever you want to call it, after this is all done, dusted, and you've sat down again, you're going out right now, right? I know that I played my part in this disastrous start to a season. The manager, yes, takes a lot of the blame, as we know, but there are always two sides to every story, as we know, and the players have let themselves down. So, Amorim is in. He's not in situ yet, obviously. It's Ruud Van Nistelrooy for the next 3 games, so we got one more week of Ruud ball. Let's go out there and let's have our auditions for every single player for Ruben Amorim, because he's going to be watching the game tomorrow. You know he's going to be watching it. He's going to be watching every single game that Manchester United play over this next week, which we've got 3. Massive. So he is going to be jotting down his notes. He's going to be sorting players into different categories, I feel. I think he's going to have the players that he knows he can trust. I think he's going to have the players that he knows he can improve. And I think there's going to be players that he knows are just not good enough. But he's going to have to see it for himself face-to-face in training, their attitudes, and then obviously the most important part, which was completely forgotten in everything that was going on with Manchester United under Ten Hag, which was the performance on the pitch. That's where it matters. It does not matter about training. Yes, the players can get fit. Yes, the players can improve. The tactics can improve. The message can come across. But if you cannot handle it mentally on the pitch, then you're not a United player. It's as simple as that. And that goes down to recruiting, that goes down to the coaches, that goes down to everything that's involved with United right now, all rolled into one. What is that? That is a structure that Ineos have put in place at United. So there's no room for failure. There's no reason why these players won't succeed going forward right now. And if they don't, then they're out. It's a simple method, it's a simple tactic, and it's basics of football and how a football club should run. And it's all right having these meetings. Keep having these meetings. I've not got a problem. You know what? If you have to do that team huddle at the start, which United have never done, which I don't like, go just do it. Whatever gets you up and whatever gets you ready for a game, just do everything you possibly can to be better than what you have been. That is all that matters to United fans. We want to see an enthusiasm within this team, a willingness to run more, willingness to put your bodies on the line, a willingness to actually, understand what it is to be a United player. And if you can figure that out between yourselves, go for it. Go for it, United players, honestly. But it does come down to the trust within that structure and them having the balls to make seriously big calls when it comes to these players. Back this new head coach. Back him like you back Ten Hag, and he will succeed. I really do, because I think this is a different era right now for United. And I feel like the football is going to completely change under him as well. So let's see what is happening right now. We've got the countdown on. 9 days till Amorim is in at Manchester United. It's Ruud for now. And like we said at the start, if you have just joined in, Ruud Van Nistelrooy has won one League Cup game, got us to a quarter-final, and moved us a place up the league table without even playing. Get a hold of that. Wowza. Yes, indeed. I did do the normal show tonight because Crystal Palace and Wolves, no one is really interested. United are looking up, and we're looking at what we can do in that league table. Never mind what's behind us. Surely we have to be looking up. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. We have 10 new members in the house. Extra gifted in by Modern Samurai. What a legend. Ellen Groom, Jason, my best friend, Paulson, Scripture, Oyson, Stephen, Ellen, Gerard, and Zeus. Oh yeah, Man United Dream as well. Welcome to the Members Club, everybody. Please do thank Modern Samurai in the chat, and please do make sure that you get commenting in the comment section. Do your bit as a member. Help everyone else out in the chat. You have got extra responsibility now as a Forever United TV member. You are top dogs in green in that chat. Get everybody involved. Get that conversation going. Don't be scared. Please get involved in there and get your comments in, everybody. I'm going to come to the comment section very shortly. I did just want to run through what was going on and what Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic has been saying today as well, because he has been talking up what has been going on and where everything sort of moved with Ruben Amorim and everything that's been happening over the last few weeks. I'm just going to get through some of these actually right now. Ruud Van Nistelrooy has been talking as well, which is very interesting. So we're going to get into that. And let's just see. Now, actually, one on Ruud Van Nistelrooy that came out earlier on was in terms of the return or any possible players coming back in. Don't forget, we're going to get the embargoed version of the press conference from Van Nistelrooy very soon as well. So all of them quotes are going to start coming out. There's only really Christian Eriksen that he's looking to bring back into the side. Interesting. Who drops out? I gave my preview earlier on today where I thought it should have been Casemiro and Agati again with Bruno in front, because I have to accept that Bruno won't be dropped, especially after scoring 2 goals in his first game for Van Nistelrooy. But Eriksen coming back in, United's best player this season, I think by far. I wouldn't be too bothered about Christian Eriksen coming back in at all. I really think it's the right thing to do. In a week, Manchester United faced Fenerbahce. United gauged Ruben Amorim's willingness to make the switch straight away, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brailsford involved. That was the one I wanted to talk about from Laurie Whitwell. So he's saying that both Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir David Brailsford, the Knights of United, you could say. United's Knights. Which way should we label them, actually? The Knights of United? I think that sounds better, doesn't it? Let's just make that up. Everyone get your comments in as well. What should we name Sir David Brailsford and Sir Jim Ratcliffe at United? Is it the Knights of United or United's Knights? Let me know in the comment section. So both of them were involved in the discussions with Ruben Amorim over the last few weeks, gauging the willingness. I think conversations went deep, as we've spoken about, but it did happen after the Fenerbahce result. So that was the key one again. I feel, again, it came down to what we just spoke about there and what the players were saying in this private meeting. Some of the decisions from Ten Hag in playing certain players in places, substitutions he made, dropping players. I think the Fenerbahce game had all of that in one. And that being fresh in the minds of everybody. Let's not forget, what happened in that game. That was the one when Mazraoui played at 10. That was the one when Anthony came on ahead of Ahmad. That was the game when he was talking about Manchester United playing fantastic football. Yes, all of that in one game. And I think that was one that you could definitely say is a definite Ten Hag no-no and a convincer for United's Knights. The Red Knights, says Lollipop. That's a good one. And them then going into Ruben Amorim and asking him and getting the questions in that they needed to gauge whether he was willing to come earlier than what he originally wanted to. As we said yesterday, earlier on this morning, Manchester United's moving for Amorim, that he didn't want to go. He wanted to go at the end of the season, but obviously he was told that it was now or never, and we'd covered that this morning. I think that's where we're talking now, and what Laurie Whitwell was saying. The Tottenham result was the one that triggered the thoughts and the plans. The Fenerbahce was full force, right, Amorim, you're coming in. It was made pretty much in that game. And certain decisions from managers definitely throw players off. I mean, Ahmad, I'm guessing, is one of these players. Marcus Rashford is one of these players. You're scratching your head. Casemiro, I'm guessing Agate because he's not playing. I could even say Bruno Fernandes would be questioning certain things that Erik ten Hag was doing. But that was the one. I think that was a convincer for a lot of fans as well. It's like, what the hell is this guy playing at? What is he doing? There's no explanation for it. But look, we are officially past it. Everything that needed to be said about Ruben Amorim, what's happened, everything that needed to be said with Ten Hag, the curtain is drawn this weekend. As of tonight, it is done. Amorim has got to do his bit with Sporting. United move on with Ruud for Chelsea tomorrow. And that is everything right now. That is all that is important, and that is everything that we need to be concerned about. It's simple as that. That's it. In terms of, oh, by the way, quickly, like, how good were today's results, by the way? A good day. Like City losing, yes. Can Amorim, honestly, we're doing a watch along, by the way, on Big Up on Tuesday for the Sporting and City game. Please drop into the description and click on the Big Up link. It's right at the top of the description bar. Click on that. It's completely free. Join us for the watch along and come on and have a chat with me in that video. We have people calling in, so you can get on the video on Big Up as well while the City game is going ahead. So make sure you do click on that link and join in with the interactions on Big Up there as well. That is where we're doing our watch-alongs this season. That is our platform for them. I want to get into some Ruud Van Nistelrooy quotes. He has been talking to MUTV. Ruud Van Nistelrooy, let's get into this. The fans support us and help us in difficult times. They stay behind the team and encourage the team, which is special. That doesn't happen at any other club. We are very happy. We need them. And we want to bring them joy. That is our motivation, says Ruud Van Nistelrooy in his first quote there. You have to get the crowd on their feet. That's what the fans want to see. The intention is always there. You have to be the dominant team, and that's our intention. But if that's not the case, we have to find other ways to win the game, and there are... other ways to win the game, and there are other ways to do that. So Van Nistelrooy basically saying to MUTV that we need to get the crowd on their feet. I like that, because I think there has been an acceptance that the United fans are always loud. At home, it's not been the case. I don't care what anybody says. Look, Manchester United fans have just been starved of any entertainment value for years now. It's been crap, turgid football, the odd moment here and there and the odd game. And there is this sort of... It's not a myth, because it is there. United fans are the best. You've seen these fans cheering these players on after a 4-0 away defeat to Crystal Palace. We are loyal. The fans within the stadium will definitely get behind the team. But there are times that I have seen, being a match-going fan, where it's just died off. You need the players. Sometimes the fans need the players to show you. If the fans believe that something is happening, the fans believe that there is more happening on the pitch and these players are doing more and the football is getting better, it automatically gets you up. It then gets you up for the next game and excited to see it. That then builds the volume in the stadium and the excitement levels before it's even kicked off. That has just dispersed. That has gone at Manchester United. You go into games and everyone's just like, oh yeah, wonder what's going to happen today. Whereas now you could see things changing. We don't know if it's going to change, but this is what Van Nistelrooy is alluding to right now. He is 100% right. The players and the Manchester United team, coaches, everybody, they are at fault for a lot of the atmosphere dying off at Old Trafford, because the football has been crap. They need to get this crowd up. They need to get the crowd behind them. It's still going to take a lot of convincing for a lot of this fan base yet. And that's understandable after everything that I've just said there in terms of how long it's taken and how long it's been where United fans have just fallen out of love with the football that we're playing. It's boring. It is crap. And now we have an opportunity to reset that. And this is what I feel Ineos have looked at and gauged. Yes, they fell under that spell of the fans after the FA Cup final. I mean, if you watched that game, you'd have thought that Manchester United could actually perform and challenge with the best of the best. But that was one game. I think if you're a United fan who's been going to games or watching them season in, season out over the last 4 or 5 years in particular, then you will know that that's just a flash in the pan. It's a one-off game for this team, and it isn't enough, and is never going to be enough. And that's what we've fallen into. We can't banter our opposition anymore. Van Nistelrooy. Sir Alex Ferguson wished me luck before the game. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sent me a message to wish me luck, as did a lot of the former players. I was delighted to receive all of those messages, as you'd expect. That is that United family, and that is what we would expect from them. And I feel like that is important, and that's what I do love about Manchester United. Major clubs like Bayern Munich and Barcelona have been monitoring Ruben Amorim. Manchester United saw this was a rare chance to get the next big thing, and they took it. That was from Miguel Delaney as well. He has reported that. And you've got to look at everything like that and just say, look, United have done everything right. That's the encouraging side of things, but they have to back it up with what I've just said there. They have to back it up by backing Ruben Amorim. And that doesn't mean with money. That doesn't mean with players coming through. That means with everything that I've just said and what we started this show off with that so-called meeting about the players blaming the manager for certain things, the players actually blaming themselves for the other part of it as well. Look, if the players aren't good enough and they don't want to fit into this system, or they're not happy with what Ruben Amorim is doing, then that's tough. Sorry, sling your hook. You're not good enough. This is where it needs to be a lot stricter at Manchester United. And we know that he is a strict disciplinarian. We knew that Ten Hag was as well. So there's worrying signs that for some fans that it could just go down the same road. It is different because of Ineos' structure. I will keep saying that forever and a day. It has to be, or we're screwed. It really does. Into the comment section we are going. Sorry, if you can hear fireworks in the background, I don't know if you can. It is all going off. Happy bonfire night, everybody. It's not officially bonfire night, but I'm guessing most people are out tonight at bonfires. A lot of people here with us still. Over 1,000 in the room on a Saturday night. That is mega. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this show. Keep your comments coming in because I'm coming to you now. Make sure you give the video a like as well because it always helps. And if you haven't subscribed, then please do, because you can get involved in the chat if you are subscribed. And you won't miss out on the best match day content. I promise tomorrow it is going to be epic. Cannot wait for the match day vlog tomorrow. I'm really excited. I want to see goals. I want to see real enthusiasm. I can't wait. And you all know what I'm like on my match day vlogs. Kind of loose cannon. And it's entertaining just for that. Man, that was a game and a half to vlog, that one in midweek against Leicester. It really was. Something totally different. David Campbell in the chat says, it's a process, says Ten Hag said, since pre-season. I know he probably upsets, he's probably upset, but he had to go. Yep. In terms of process, I think he meant processing that. Driving Range King says, isn't free at the back obvious when we haven't got a left back? Well, you still need a left wing back. And who is going to be playing there? That's an interesting one. Ahmad is a good 10, yet he was benched and played Mazraoui in that position. Erik ten Hag had lost the plot. Again, Fenerbahce, there was inexcusable errors made in that game from the coaching side of things that nobody can defend. Nobody. Blast was looking forward to match of the day without knowing the scores. Where was the spoiler alert? Andrew, are you really doing that still? Does anyone do that now? They don't listen to anything. How can you actually get through a day without being notified about scores? It's a nightmare. I understand the old match of the day days when you turn your phone off and you didn't watch any news because you didn't want to know the scores and you just watch the highlight reels. But surely everybody these days sees it. I mean, God, they come up on bleeding YouTube instantly now with the Premier League. So there's no way of knowing what the scores were. Look, the table's at the bottom that you can see there. United have moved up a spot. And looking at the results today, United can move. When you look at Villa against Spurs, a nice little draw in that one will do United good if we can win tomorrow. And what about Nottingham Forest? Third in the league after 10 games. That is some going from Nuno, that. That is some going. No one would have put that down. Wow, Arsenal losing as well. They're losing the way a little bit, Arsenal. But obviously the funniest thing about today was Manchester City and Pep's injury tears. Oh, what a shame. Shut up. Actually, he wasn't that bad in his post-match interview. He kind of accepted that Areola did a really good job. And that is one hell of a manager right there at Bournemouth. He's beaten Arsenal and City now at the Vitality. That is some going. And to only concede, 2 goals to them, score 4 against... Well done. Well done. If Ineos can get United up the league, they will be the Phoenix Knights. Rising from the ashes, I like that one. David Campbell, the fans are in the fans are the 12th man, but Ten Hag football has been boring, and I want United standards back. I agree with that completely. Skiliano says, I still feel like top 4 isn't out of reach. I agree, Skiliano. Thank you. Looks like Arsenal are in a rough patch, and Villa and Chelsea aren't so far ahead or consistent enough to materially widen the gap. I'm hopeful still. You get a good run of games together and you get a system that these players believe in, and watch us fly. Watch us fly. Kaz has just put a comment in there as well. Jay is back tomorrow. We are having a late night show for the Chelsea game, so make sure you tuned in after. We've got all of the content from the early morning show into the road trip, into the match day vlogs, and everything going on there. And we are obviously going to then be doing a late night show. I don't know how late it's going to be, actually. I might be able to get back at a decent time. But me and Jay will be doing the breakdown show after everything has been said and done at the game at Old Trafford tomorrow as well. So make sure you tuned in for that. So another 2 live shows as well as a shed load of content in between. And like I said, we've got Chelsea fans on tomorrow as well. So it's going to be really interesting. Please don't let me down, United. I have to be able to hold my own in that debate and that conversation. These players are snakes. As a player, once you cross that white line, the manager is not responsible for your actions. He is in terms of formation and setup. And if he takes you off the pitch, Garcia, then he definitely is. I wouldn't say all the players are snakes. Definitely not. Super chat in from... unbelievable how Rashi didn't publicly thank Eric. That's a point, yeah. United stand unit with that super chat. Thank you, mate. But yeah, Marcus Rashford, he didn't, did he? He didn't know, so that was interesting. Why is nobody talking about the fact that Amorim has worked previously at United? He hasn't worked previously at United. He did an internship with Jose Mourinho to pass his coaching badges. Look, he had to retire through injury at an early age, and he ultimately then went to United to do his badges under Jose Mourinho. Like Robin Van Persie did, he used United to do his coaching badges, and Ruben Amorim did the same. He has an affiliation to United in that way, which is good as well. So it's like he does know what it is like to be around Manchester United as well. It's brilliant, actually, in fact. And it is a good point and worth bringing up as well. He has been here before. Steve is in the chat. That hurt Adam to say that name. Which name was that? Which name, Steve? I don't know. I've missed out there somewhere, I think. It's not going to be an easy game for Rude, but I'm pretty sure we do it again. Rude ball, says Amir. We are having it. There is only one person important to Marcus, and that is himself. Comment there from Morgan. We just need to go back to basics and stop the mistakes, says Endless Vision TV. And he comes back again. Our attack needs to impress themselves, and our attackers need to express themselves. Sorry, that's me and my dyslexia again. And we need to cut out the mistakes. Yeah, we do. Please, no mistakes. I am fearing tomorrow a little bit, honestly. I know Chelsea are a different animal under Maresca. Like I said in the preview video earlier on today, it is a tough old game. And I think it'll be... we cannot go toe-to-toe with Chelsea. We can't. Look, I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow, getting closer up to the game and everything like that as well. And I have done a preview as to what I would set up like. So go and watch that video after the game. After this live show finishes as well. Let's get some more comments in as well, everybody, please. Let me know. We will see. Anthony Redemption says United. No, I don't know. I don't think we will. Apparently, he's got a clean slate. he's got a clean slate under Amorim like every other player. Maybe. My United Dream, new member, thank you, mates. Cheers for getting the comments in. Leave the players, let's see how they play in their proper positions. Yeah, interesting to see if he does put players in any different spots. I think that's going to be interesting. Agate and Casemiro double pivot for Stefanet. I agree on that one. But then Ruud van Nistelrooy has been talking and possibly getting Eriksen back in the side. And I'm pretty certain he won't drop Bruno Fernandes, especially after he had an alright game against Leicester in the week. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who drops out of this United side. Need to stick Agate on Palmer tomorrow. Stop him, and the rest of the Chelsea team is average. I don't think they are average, to be honest, Skiliano. I really don't. I mean, Jackson's having his best season ever. You got Madueke, who's not doing too bad either. The midfield is quite strong. I mean, Lavia's keeping Fernandes on the bench, for God's sake. They are playing well. They are playing very, very well, Chelsea, I feel. And even when they've been beaten this season, they've done all right. They haven't been completely out of the game. They've always competed, even with the bigger teams. Right or wrong, everyone has opinions until I'll just keep boosting members. Yeah, keep boosting the members, Steve. We have the strongest community section ever on YouTube right now here on Forever United TV, and that's because of the members themselves. Absolute legends, every single one of them. And Modern Samurai, Steve Brindle, two of the biggest contributors. Tom as well, who has done their bits. They're all in the chat today. London, I know he does a lot as well. Christopher has done it. There is so many of the members in here. And I've probably not even mentioned enough of them because there is so many that have donated different times. By the way, everybody, this prize that I'm putting up on the screen right now from our partners Football Prizes is finishing on Monday evening, but the tickets are nearly sold. I am going to be putting out a members video. One of the members is going to get 5 tickets in this draw for Monday night's draw as well. As a little bit of a giveaway from me again, a little bit of a thank you. So there is a members video going out. This is the prize. If you want to get your own ticket, only $3.95. Spend what you can. That link is in the description below as well under Football Prizes. It is a 1999 UEFA Champions League winners squad signed display. You can also win a signed shirt, Teddy Sheringham, Yapstam and Gary Neville as well. Winners medals are on spot prizes. There is so many prizes in one draw. It's crazy. Brilliant prize from our partners there at Football Prizes. So make sure you drop into the description, everybody, and get your chance of winning that doozy of a prize. Steve right on cue has just dropped in more memberships. What an absolute legend. I promise I didn't prompt him into that, but we have got an even stronger team right now. Jason Dawid, what's that, Nate, I like that. Is that dot 90 and Steve Min. Thank you, Steve. Please do give him a thank you if you have just been donated one of their memberships. Glenn C has just dropped a super chat in. Says, being United manager is like playing a game of snakes and ladders, trying to climb the ladder to success while avoiding the snakes in the dressing room. That is a fantastic super chat, that one. It really is. Who is going to let you down and bring you right down? Adam, this steak tastes good, says Kaz. Kaz has got my tea on. I think that's my cue, isn't it? I can smell it from up here. It sounds... Whoa, that was a big firework. Jesus. Took the roof off, man. Seriously. Oh, keep your pets inside, people. Have a great night. Be safe as well. That rounds up our evening show, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I know there's football on, but we want to talk United more importantly. I want to say a massive thank you again. Blondie has just dropped another membership in. I was just going to say thanks to the members. Trevor, welcome to the members club. That's 17 members again in one show. Epic. Unbelievable. I do want to say a massive thank you to the members again. All of the new members, all of the new subscribers. We've had a few on this show alone. We are flying right now. We're on the road to 62k. That's our next 1,000 mark. So please do hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you check out the other content. My preview is up on the screen now if you're watching later on. And that is us all finished. Absolutely love you all to bits. Game day is next. We'll be back at 8 o'clock in the morning, everyone. I'll see you there.